One of the things that I think is cool in this movie is that we're shown that Trudy is a contemporary of Babe Ruth. And in America, we all grow up knowing all about Babe Ruth and his exploits. But for whatever reason, Trudy's story has been kind of forgotten by history. So how proud are you to be able to tell her story?
It's funny because I don't even really know American sports that well. I know Babe Ruth. It was pretty shaming to read the script and not know about her. And I think generally that's been the feeling, that people cannot believe that what she did has been lost to history. So to be part of the team that is sharing this story, that is bringing something that has just been lost to light and sharing what she did, and also what Meg created the first bikini. These two women did two amazing things. So to be part of telling that is really, really cool.
And what if I make it? What then? Then they got a serious problem.
I think it's such an ultimate underdog story. And I feel like it's just so incredible, all the things she was up against and still succeeded. And I think that you just can't help but being moved and inspired by that story.
How good of a swimmer were you before, and tell me about the training?
My first swimming test, I tried to swim a 20-meter pool and stood up halfway and said I can't do it. And then thought, what have I done? I might have lied on my CV. But we had an amazing coach who was a real Olympian. And she was wonderful and encouraging. And so we trained pretty hard. I trained the January, February, March, and then we started shooting in the March. And then we carried on training as we were filming. So actually all the while we were becoming much better swimmers as we were filming. And then the big swim was at the end. So 9 days in the Black Sea, which was cold and overwhelming. But it looks wonderful. And to be honest, I think we couldn't have faked it. I think if I wasn't really in the water, you wouldn't have felt the impact of what Trudy did.
Were the jellyfish real?
The jellyfish were not real, but there are jellyfish in that body of water. So each time I got in, I was like, no, please don't sting me.
So there's a lot of movies that are about like romantic love, but we don't always see in the movies stories about the love between families. In this case, all of Trudy's family, but certainly her sister too. What was that like to sort of bring that story to the screen?
That's the bit in the script that I think really moved me. It's so lovely to be able to celebrate a relationship between women like this, particularly as sisters. Two women that are really supporting each other to be the best version of themselves and to challenge sort of the world that they've grown up in and what's expected of them. So I found that part really moving, and it was really fun to be able to explore that on screen together. Yeah.
Is there a moment or a scene in the movie you're particularly proud of?
Interesting. I think the alley scene when Trudy comes back from the Olympics and it hasn't gone that well and she's so lonely. It's the first time she's been apart from her family, and while she's been gone, a lot has happened with Meg that she did not know was going on, and there are some hard truths learned in that scene. We had gone through it a lot, and each time I thought, I just can't figure out how this scene's gonna work. And then we started doing it, and we figured it out.
They don't want us to be heroes. They don't want us to be anything.
It's the absolute lowest moment, certainly for Trudy, coming back and being confronted by the truth of that she's gone off and had this difficult time, and Meg has had to become engaged to someone that she doesn't want to marry and have a job that she doesn't want to do. That confrontation of she's having her own thing and then she's witnessing her sister have this very difficult time. So that for me always represented the real low moment before everything gets better.
Not only is it a movie that's kind of about family in a lot of ways, it's one that the whole family can go to. It's kind of a classic Disney movie in that way, right?
It is, and I think it's really nice to be able to have movies that can be watched by your whole family together. Like, I think that there's a character in this film for sort of everyone watching it. There's someone they can relate to, and I'm really excited to share it. My family haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited to share it with them.
Yeah.
Trudy, you don't have to do this.
I don't know. Seems like a nice day for a swim.
Want more entertainment news, follow On the Red Carpet on social and subscribe on YouTube.